Hello everyone, my name is Pai. I'm a high school student who loves exploring interesting facts, chemistry and biology. Today, I want to start this podcast with a situation that many of you has possibly remembered. Have you ever drunk a glass of fresh milk in the morning and about 30 minutes later, your stomach started protesting, like feeling bloated, having stomach pain, or even needing to rush to the bathroom? The interesting thing is that some people can drink milk every day and feel completely fine, while others feel uncomfortable after drinking just a little. So the question is, why does the same milk cause such different reactions in different people? Many people might simply say, oh, maybe your body just doesn't tolerate milk. But in biology, this condition is called a specific name, lactose intolerance. In today's podcast, we will explore what is lactose, why can some people digest lactose, does this mean they must completely stop drinking milk? Part 2, the cause and mechanism. To understand this, we first need to talk about the composition of milk. Milk contains a natural sugar called lactose. Lactose is a disaccharide, which means it is a double sugar molecule made of two smaller sugars, glucose and galactose. In order for our body to absorb lactose, we need a digestive enzyme called lactase. This enzyme is produced in the small intestine, and its job is to break down lactose down into glucose and galactose so the body can absorb them. When this process works normally, milk can be digested just like any other food. However, problems occur when the body does not produce enough lactase enzymes. When that happens, lactose is not fully broken down and continues traveling into the large intestine. In the large intestine, lactose becomes a food source for gut bacteria. These bacteria ferment lactose, producing gases such as carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and some organic acid. Gases are responsible for common symptoms like bloating, stomach cramps, diarrhea, or rumbling sounds in the stomach. This is why some people feel uncomfortable after drinking milk. Interestingly, lactose intolerance is quite common worldwide. Around 65% of the global population, a decrease in lactase production after childhood. In other words, drinking milk is not always easy for the human digestive system as we might think. Part 3. Practical perspectives and interesting facts. So, if drinking milk gives you stomach pain, does it mean you can never drink milk again? The answer is not necessarily. In reality, there are several possible solutions. First, many people can still consume small amounts of milk without experiencing serious symptoms. Second, there are now products called lactose-free milk, which means the lactose has already been broken down before consumption. Third, foods like yogurt or cheese are often easier to digest because part of the lactose has already been fermented by bacteria. In addition, every person has different levels of lactose intolerance. Some people have almost no symptoms, while others are very sensitive to lactose. From an evolutionary perspective, the ability of adults to digest milk. From an evolutionary perspective, the ability of adults to digest milk is actually a relatively new trait in human history. In many ancient human populations, the lactose enzymes were highly active only during childhood when milk was an important nutrient source. As people grew older, lactase production naturally decreased because humans were no longer dependent on milk. So, if you had stomach pain after drinking milk, it may not necessarily be a health problem. It might simply be how your body naturally functions from a biological standpoint. Personally, what I find most fascinating about science is that very ordinarily things in daily life, like drinking a glass of milk, can actually be explained by complex biological mechanisms such as digestive enzymes, the gut microbiome, and biochemical reactions inside the body. If you enjoy topics about chemistry and biology connected to everyday life, make sure to follow this podcast. My name is Time, and I hope to see you in the next episode of the AI Gen podcast.